Chapter 1. The Man Who Doesn't Ask. Seoul never sleeps. It watches. From glass towers and penthouse windows, from rearview mirrors of black sedans, from security cameras mounted on every polished surface. And tonight, it was watching Han Seo-yoon. He hated the rain. It made everything feel heavier. The past. The silence. The loneliness of walking home alone at midnight. The street lamp above him flickered as he adjusted his bag on his shoulder. Then headlights cut through the downpour. A black sedan. Not just expensive. Dangerous. It stopped directly in front of him. The back window lowered with quiet precision. Inside sat a man carved from cold ambition. Sharp jaw. Tailored black suit. Dark eyes that didn't wander, they claimed. Kang Jae-min. Get in. No greeting. No explanation. Seo-yoon blinked, stunned. I think you have the wrong. I don't. The rain grew louder between them. Seo-yoon felt irritation replace confusion. I don't know you. Jae-min's gaze didn't shift. I know you. The words weren't romantic. They were calculated. You work at Blue Maple Cafe. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday shifts. You leave campus around 11:58 most nights. Seo-yoon's pulse spiked. That's not normal. No, Jae-min agreed calmly. It's not. A beat passed. Why are you watching me? Seo-yoon demanded. Jae-min's fingers tapped once against the car door. Controlled. Restrained. Because you're the first person who looked at me without wanting something. The confession was quiet. Almost honest. Seo-yoon frowned. I don't even remember you. I do. Something about the way he said it made the rain feel colder. Seo-yoon took a step back. Move your car. The driver stiffened. But Jae-min? He smiled. It wasn't warm. It was intrigued. You're not afraid. I should be. Yes. The honesty made Seo-yoon's stomach twist. Instead of getting in, he walked around the car and continued down the sidewalk. Bold. Stupid. Irresistible. Inside the sedan, Jae-min watched him through the rear window. Follow him, he instructed softly. The driver hesitated. Sir? Slowly. The car rolled forward. Seo-yoon noticed. He stopped walking. The car stopped too. His chest tightened. Are you serious right now? Jae-min stepped out this time. Rain soaked his suit within seconds, but he didn't seem to care. He approached Seo-yoon until there was barely space left between them. Up close, he was overwhelming. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just certain. You shouldn't walk alone this late. I've been doing it for years. That was before I noticed you. The implication hung heavy. Seo-yoon swallowed. That's not comforting. It's not supposed to be. There it was. Not charm. Not sweetness. Possession forming in real time. Jae-min reached up, slowly, and brushed rain from Seo-yoon's cheek with his thumb. Seo-yoon froze. His body reacted before his mind could. Don't touch me. Jae-min's hand stilled. For the first time, something dangerous flickered in his eyes. Not anger. Not yet. But challenge. You don't like being touched. Not by strangers. Then stop making me one. The air between them tightened. Seo-yoon pushed his hand away. And that was the moment something shifted. Jae-min wasn't used to being rejected. Especially not physically. The driver looked away. Seo-yoon's voice came out steadier than he felt. You don't get to decide things for me. Silence. Rain. Breathing. Then Jae-min leaned closer, close enough that his voice didn't have to rise. I don't decide things for everyone. A pause. Just the people who belong to me. Seo-yoon's heart pounded. I don't belong to you. Jae-min studied him carefully. Not yet. Across the street, a pair of unfamiliar men watched from inside another parked vehicle. And one of them lifted a phone. Taking a picture. Because Kang Jae-min wasn't supposed to be distracted. Especially not with someone like Han Seo-yoon. And in Jae-min's world, love was weakness. And weakness was something people exploited. Chapter 2, Everyone Knows His Name. The next morning, Seoul felt too bright. Han Seo-yoon barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw rain sliding down black glass, and Kang Jae-min stare. Not yet. The words wouldn't leave his head. He shook it off as he entered campus. That's when the whispering started. Not subtle. Not quiet. Blatant. Isn't that him? That's the guy. No way. Him? Seo-yoon frowned. Him, what? Then he saw it. Parked directly in front of the Humanities building. A black Maybach. Students weren't just staring. They were keeping their distance. Like the car itself was dangerous. The back door opened. And Kang Jae-min stepped out. Perfect suit. Impeccable posture. Not a single drop of hesitation in his stride. The crowd parted instantly. Seo-yoon felt his stomach drop. Oh no. Someone behind him whispered, "That's Kang Jae-min." Another voice added quietly, "The vice chairman's son." Of course he was. Seo-yoon exhaled sharply. Rich. Powerful. Untouchable. It made last night worse. Jae-min's eyes locked onto him immediately. He didn't scan the crowd. He didn't hesitate. He walked straight toward Seo-yoon like the space between them already belonged to him. Students stepped aside quickly. No one wanted to be in that path. They stopped inches apart. "Good morning," Jae-min said calmly. Seo-yoon's jaw tightened. "What are you doing here?" "I thought we should continue our conversation." "We weren't having one." A faint smirk. "We were." Seo-yoon glanced around. Every eye was on them. "This isn't funny." "I'm not joking." His tone was steady. Controlled. That same quiet dominance. Seo-yoon crossed his arms. "You followed me home. Now you show up at my campus. Do you hear yourself?" "Yes." "And?" "And I don't see the problem." The audacity. "You don't see the problem," Seo-yoon repeated in disbelief. "No." He leaned slightly closer. "I told you. You shouldn't walk alone at night." "I've been fine." "You were," Jae-min corrected. The shift in tense wasn't accidental. Before Seo-yoon could respond, another voice cut through the tension. Well. This is interesting." A tall man approached from behind Jae-min. Sharp suit. Arrogant smile. Lee Hyun-woo. Son of a rival conglomerate family. And someone who enjoyed provoking Jae-min. Hyun-woo glanced at Seo-yoon, openly assessing him. "So this is why you skipped the shareholder dinner last night?" Seo-yoon blinked. "Skipped what?" Jae-min's expression hardened by a fraction. "Don't start." Hyun-woo laughed lightly. "Relax. I'm just surprised. I didn't know you liked this type." The insult was subtle. But intentional. Seo-yoon stiffened. Jae-min noticed. And something cold entered his gaze. "You should leave," Jae-min said quietly. Hyun-woo raised his hands mockingly. "Touchy." He stepped closer to Seo-yoon instead. "So what did he tell you? That he's misunderstood? That he's lonely?" Hyun-woo's smile sharpened. "Careful. He ruins everything he gets close to." Seo-yoon didn't like how easily that line unsettled him. Jae-min's voice dropped lower. "Hyun-woo." A warning. But Hyun-woo wasn't done. "You know what happened to the last person he was obsessed with?" Silence. The crowd leaned in. Seo-yoon's pulse pounded. Enough. The word wasn't loud. But it carried weight. Hyun-woo studied Jae-min for a moment. Then smiled knowingly. "Right. Sensitive topic." He stepped back. "But be careful," he said softly to Seo-yoon. "You look like someone who breaks easily." And then he walked away. The tension lingered. Seo-yoon slowly turned back to Jae-min. What did he mean? Jae-min didn't answer immediately. Which was answer enough. "Nothing that concerns you." "It concerns me if I'm apparently your new hobby." "You're not a hobby." "Then what am I?" The wrong question. Jae-min's eyes darkened. He reached out suddenly, gripping Seo-yoon's wrist, not painfully, but firmly enough to stop him from stepping back. "You're the only person who didn't flinch when I looked at you." His voice was low. Dangerously honest. "I want to understand why." Seo-yoon's heart raced. "You don't understand people by cornering them." Jae-min's thumb pressed slightly against his pulse point. "I'm not cornering you." He leaned closer. "I'm protecting you." "From what?" A pause. Then. "From them." Seo-yoon realized something chilling. Jae-min wasn't worried about rivals. He was worried about anyone getting close to him. Possessiveness wasn't forming. It was already there. Across campus, phones were recording. Rumors were spreading. And Seo-yoon felt it. He wasn't just dealing with a powerful man. He was standing at the center of a storm that had already started. And storms don't ask permission before they destroy things. Chapter 3, If You Walk Away. Rumors spread faster than fire in dry air. By afternoon, Han Seo-yoon's name was attached to Kang Jae-min's. Not quietly. Not kindly. Sugar baby. Mistress. New obsession. He heard it all. He pretended he didn't. But humiliation burns differently when it's public. By the time evening fell, Seo-yoon had made a decision. He was ending it. Not that there was anything to end. But whatever this was, it stopped now. He walked straight to the underground parking lot. The black Maybach was already there. Of course it was. Jae-min stood beside it, jacket off, sleeves rolled neatly to his forearms. Calm. Waiting. Like he knew Seo-yoon would come. I was wondering how long you'd last, Jae-min said softly. Seo-yoon stopped a few feet away. Don't show up at my university again. Silence. Jae-min stuttered him. I don't like repeating myself. I don't care what you like. That landed. The air shifted. Seo-yoon stepped closer, anger finally outweighing fear. You don't get to follow me. You don't get to touch me. You don't get to make my life harder because you're bored. I'm not bored. Then what is this? Jae-min didn't answer. And that was the problem. Seo-yoon's chest rose sharply. Whatever fantasy you've created, end it. I'm not interested. The words were clear. Direct. Final. Something in Jae-min's expression darkened. Not explosive. Not loud. Was. Controlled. You're upset because people are talking. I'm upset because you're ruining my peace. A beat. I can fix that. I don't want you fixing anything. Seo-yoon turned to leave. And that's when Jae-min grabbed his arm. Harder this time. Not enough to bruise. Enough to stop him. Let go. Look at me. Let go. For the first time, Jae-min didn't immediately comply. Seo-yoon's anger snapped. His free hand moved before he could think. The sound echoed sharply in the parking structure. A slap. Clean. Clear. Unmistakable. Silence swallowed the space. Even Seo-yoon froze. He had just slapped Kang Jae-min. The heir. The untouchable one. Jae-min's head turned slightly from the impact. Slowly, he looked back at him. Not furious. Not shocked. Something else. Something intense. His grip loosened. Seo-yoon's breath trembled. Stay away from me. And he walked away. This time, Jae-min didn't follow. The next day, a student from Seo-yoon's department who had loudly mocked him in the cafeteria slipped down the campus stairs. Broken wrist. Hospital visit. Unfortunate accident. Security cameras? Malfunctioned. Whispers spread again. But this time they weren't about Seo-yoon. They were about fear. And when Seo-yoon arrived at his part-time job that evening, the cafe manager pulled him aside nervously. Seo-yoon, a corporate sponsor bought this building today. His stomach dropped. What? They're restructuring. Most staff are being replaced. A pause. But they said you can stay. Your position is secured. Cold realization crept up his spine. There was only one person powerful enough to do that overnight. The cafe door chimed softly. Seo-yoon didn't need to turn around. He felt him. Kang Jae-min walked in calmly, hands in his coat pockets. The entire cafe fell silent. He stopped in front of Seo-yoon. You shouldn't skip meals when you're angry, Jae-min said quietly. Seo-yoon's eyes burned. You did this. I fixed the problem. You destroyed people's jobs. They'll be compensated. That's not the point. Jae-min leaned slightly closer. The point, he said softly, is that no one will talk about you again. Seo-yoon's chest tightened. You think this is protection? Yes. It's control. Jae-min's jaw tensed. You walked away. Yes. And I let you. A pause. But don't confuse that with me giving up. There it was. Not loud. Not dramatic. Terrifyingly steady. Seo-yoon's voice shook. You can't own people. Jae-min's eyes softened, just slightly. I don't want to own you. A beat. I just don't know how to love without control. And that was the first crack in him. Chapter 4, The Ghost Before You. Seoul at night feels different when you know someone is watching. Han Seo-yoon felt it again. That awareness crawling up his spine. He left the cafe early, ignoring the way the staff whispered whenever he moved. The streets were quieter tonight. Too quiet. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated. Then answered. Hello? A distorted voice came through. You like powerful men? Seo-yoon froze. What? They don't stay loyal? Asked the last one. The line went dead. His heart slammed against his ribs. Last one. Hyun-woo's words echoed in his mind. You know what happened to the last person he was obsessed with? Seo-yoon swallowed. He was overthinking. He had to be. He turned the corner toward his apartment building. And footsteps quickened behind him. Not casual. Intentional. His breathing hitched. He walked faster. The footsteps matched him. He stopped. They stopped. Slowly, he turned. A man stood a few meters away. Cap low. Face partially hidden. Are you Han Seo-yoon? The stranger asked. His voice wasn't distorted. It was worse. Calm. Yes? Seo-yoon answered cautiously. The man stepped closer. You should stay away from Kang Jae-min. Ice spread through his veins. And who are you? The man's jaw tightened. Someone who didn't. Before Seo-yoon could process that, a hand suddenly grabbed his collar from behind and shoved him forward. Hard. He stumbled, hitting the pavement. Pain shot through his palms. The first man moved quickly. But he didn't get far. A black car screeched around the corner. Headlights blinding. The car door slammed open before it fully stopped. Kang Jae-min stepped out. Not composed. Not calm. Furious. The air shifted instantly. The two men froze. Seo-yoon looked up from the ground, stunned. Jae-min didn't even glance at him at first. His focus locked onto the strangers. Cold. Murderous. You touched him. Not a question. A statement. The men backed up. We were just talking. Jae-min stepped forward slowly. Run. They didn't hesitate. They ran. But Jae-min didn't chase. He didn't need to. Seo-yoon noticed something chilling. Another car had blocked the opposite end of the street. Security. They were already surrounded. This wasn't coincidence. He had been monitored. Protected. Tracked. All at once. Jae-min finally turned toward Seo-yoon. His breathing was heavier than usual. His control thinner. He crouched down. Are you hurt? Seo-yoon stared at him. How long were you following me? Jae-min didn't answer. How long? Seo-yoon repeated. Silence. That was enough. You don't get to stalk me and call it protection. Jae-min's jaw tightened. You almost got hurt. Because of you. The words hit. Hard. For the first time, Jae-min flinched. Not physically. Emotionally. Seo-yoon's voice trembled. What happened to the last person? The night went still. Jae-min's expression changed. Not anger. Not dominance. Pain. She left. That's it. They threatened her family. Seo-yoon's breath caught. Because of you. Yes. No excuses. No lies. Just truth. I pushed her away to keep her safe, Jae-min continued quietly. She thought I didn't care. And? She believed it. Something raw flickered in his eyes. They still ruined her life. Seo-yoon's chest tightened. You think controlling everything will stop that from happening again? Yes. It won't. Jae-min looked at him. Really looked at him. Rain began to fall again. Soft at first. You think I don't know that? Jae-min's voice dropped. You think I enjoy this? Seo-yoon didn't answer. Because for the first time, Jae-min didn't look powerful. He looked terrified. Of losing. Of failing. Of history repeating itself. The rain intensified. Jae-min reached out slowly this time. Not to grab. Not to control. But to steady Seo-yoon's trembling hands. I don't know how to do this without being dangerous, he admitted. The honesty shook something loose in Seo-yoon. But I would rather be hated by you than watch you bleed. And that was the most terrifying confession yet. Because it wasn't obsession talking. It was fear. Deep. Unhealed. Consuming. Scarlet possession. Chapter 5, The Line We Cross. Rain clung to everything. The pavement. The air. The silence between them. Han Seo-yoon's hands were still trembling in Kang Jae-min's grasp. Not because of the men. Because of him. I didn't ask you to protect me, Seo-yoon whispered. I know. Then stop acting like I belong to you. Jae-min's eyes darkened, not with anger. With restraint. You don't, he said quietly. A lie. And they both knew it. Seo-yoon tried to pull his hands back. Jae-min let go immediately this time. That small action made it worse. Because it meant he was trying. I can't breathe around you, Seo-yoon admitted, voice breaking slightly. You make everything intense. Loud. Heavy. Jae-min stared at him like those words physically hurt. Then I'll leave. The offer hung there. Seo-yoon looked up sharply. Can you? Silence. The rain grew heavier. Jae-min stepped closer, slowly, giving him time to move away. Seo-yoon didn't. That was the mistake. You're scared of me, Jae-min said softly. Yes. But you didn't run. Seo-yoon's pulse thundered. Stop analyzing me. I can't. Their faces were inches apart now. Breath mixing with rain. I don't want to control you, Jae-min murmured. I just don't know how to want someone without it turning into control. Seo-yoon's chest tightened. You don't want me, he whispered. You're obsessed with not losing. Something in Jae-min snapped. Not violently. Desperately. His hand moved to Seo-yoon's waist. Firm. Anchoring. You think this is about losing? He asked, voice rougher now. Seo-yoon swallowed. It isn't. Jae-min leaned in closer. So leave. His voice dropped lower. Tell me to walk away and mean it. Seo-yoon opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Because the truth was, he was terrified. But he wasn't indifferent. And Jae-min saw it. That tiny hesitation. That flicker. And that was all it took. The kiss wasn't gentle. It wasn't soft. It was frustration. Fear. Restraint unraveling. Jae-min kissed him like someone who had been holding back for too long. Seo-yoon stiffened at first. Hands pushing against Jae-min's chest. But Jae-min didn't deepen it. Didn't force it further. He just held him there. Like he was afraid Seo-yoon would disappear. Seo-yoon's resistance faltered. Just for a second. Just long enough. And Jae-min felt it. He pulled back abruptly. Breathing uneven. That's exactly why I'm dangerous, Jae-min said hoarsely. Seo-yoon's lips trembled. Then stop. Jae-min stared at him. Rain sliding down his face. You want me to? The silence answered. Seo-yoon didn't say yes. And that was enough. Later that night, Seo-yoon found himself stepping into a private elevator. He didn't remember agreeing. He just remembered the way Jae-min looked after the kiss. Like he was fighting himself. The penthouse was silent. Glass walls overlooking the city. Cold. Controlled. Perfect. Like him. You shouldn't be here, Seo-yoon said quietly. I know. Then why am I? Jae-min loosened his tie slowly. Not seductively. Like he was exhausted. Because if I take you home right now, he said carefully, I'll watch your window all night. Seo-yoon's breath caught. And that's worse. The honesty felt heavier than any manipulation. You think being near me makes you less dangerous? No, Jae-min admitted. It makes it harder to lie to myself. Seo-yoon stepped closer without realizing. About what? That I don't need you. The words were raw. Unfiltered. And that scared Seo-yoon more than the obsession ever did. Because this wasn't control talking anymore. It was attachment. And attachment can destroy even colder men. Chapter 6, The Things We Don't Know How to Say. The penthouse was too quiet. Seoul glittered below them like nothing could ever touch it. But inside, the air felt fragile. Han Seo-yoon stood near the window, arms wrapped around himself. The kiss still lingered. Not on his lips. In his chest. Kang Jae-min watched him from across the room, keeping distance this time. Trying. I shouldn't have kissed you like that, Jae-min said quietly. Seo-yoon didn't turn around. I didn't stop you. That doesn't make it right. That surprised him. Seo-yoon finally looked back. Jae-min's jacket was off, sleeves slightly rolled, tie loosened, but it wasn't seductive. He looked tired. Not physically. Emotionally. You always act like you have to win, Seo-yoon said softly. Jae-min's gaze lowered. I was raised that way. Silence stretched between them. Then, unexpectedly. My father doesn't believe in softness, Jae-min continued. Affection is leverage. Weakness is punished. Seo-yoon's expression shifted. He taught me that if you love something, someone will use it against you. The confession didn't sound rehearsed. It sounded old. Like a wound that never closed. So you decided to become untouchable, Seo-yoon murmured. I decided to control what I could. And what you can't. Jae-min looked at him. You. The word wasn't possessive this time. It was honest. Seo-yoon's heart tightened. You scare me, he admitted. I know. But not because you're powerful. That made Jae-min's brows lift slightly. You scare me because when you look at me like that, I feel like I matter too much. Jae-min went very still. Seo-yoon swallowed. I don't want to be someone you protect like a project. Or own like an achievement. I want to be chosen. Calmly. The room felt smaller. I don't know how to love calmly, Jae-min said. Then learn. Not a demand. An invitation. Jae-min stepped closer, slow enough that Seo-yoon could move away. He didn't. I don't want to cage you, Jae-min said quietly. I just don't know how to stand beside someone without building walls around them. Seo-yoon's voice softened. Then stand beside me without the walls. A long pause. Then. Jae-min did something unexpected. He sat down on the couch. Not looming. Not dominating. Just, there. It was subtle. But it was the first time he made himself smaller in Seo-yoon's presence. Seo-yoon hesitated before sitting beside him. Close. But not touching. The city lights reflected in the glass. You don't have to watch my window tonight, Seo-yoon said quietly. Jae-min's lips curved faintly. Are you sure? Yes. A beat. But you can text me and ask if I got home safely. That small allowance felt monumental. Jae-min nodded once. Carefully. Okay. No control. No command. Just agreement. For the first time since they met. The silence between them wasn't heavy. It was warm. And when Jae-min reached for Seo-yoon's hand this time, he didn't grip. He didn't claim. He simply laced their fingers together. Loose. Gentle. Like he was learning. Chapter 7, Sunrise Between Us. Morning sunlight seeped through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Han Seo-yoon blinked awake to the sound of the city below. Something felt different. 3:11. He turned his head slowly and froze. Kang Jae-min was already awake, sitting on the edge of the couch with a coffee in his hands. Not commanding. Not intense. Just quiet. Watching him with something soft he hadn't seen before. Good morning, Seo-yoon whispered. Morning, Jae-min replied, voice low, steady. For a moment, silence settled between them, not tense. Comfortable. Tentative. Seo-yoon rubbed the sleep from his eyes. I didn't expect you to stay. I didn't expect you to let me, Jae-min said quietly. Seo-yoon smiled faintly. Fair. Jae-min glanced at him, fingers lightly tapping the cup. Do you sleep well? Seo-yoon blinked. Yes. Better than I thought I would. The words were small. Honest. That's good, Jae-min murmured. I want to learn how to do this. Slowly. Calmly. Not overbearing. Seo-yoon's chest tightened. I'll help you. The words hung between them. No games. No obsessions. No walls. Just two people learning how to care for each other. Carefully, gently, and cautiously. And for the first time since the storm started, the weight between them felt manageable. Chapter 8, Shadows and Whispers. The campus felt quieter than usual that morning. Han Seo-yoon tried to focus on his classes, but every glance at the crowd made him uneasy. Whispers followed him down the hall. Did you see him yesterday? Yeah. Kang Jae-min. They say he bought that cafe just for him. Seo-yoon clenched his notebook. Rumors spread faster than the autumn wind. And of course, Hyun-woo had returned. Leaning casually against a pillar, phone in hand, he caught Seo-yoon's gaze with a smirk. Looks like the story's getting bigger, he said lightly. Everyone's talking. Seo-yoon forced calm. I don't care what they say. Hyun-woo laughed, low and teasing. That's cute. But your rich boyfriend seems a little too interested in you for comfort, don't you think? Seo-yoon froze. Boyfriend? Jae-min appeared behind him without a sound. A shadow. A presence. Hyun-woo glanced over his shoulder. Ah. So this is him. The vice chairman's son. The smirk didn't leave his face, but his eyes faltered slightly. You're stepping into dangerous territory, Jae-min said quietly, calm but sharp. Hyun-woo shrugged. I just like seeing reactions. Seo-yoon felt something shift. A warmth behind him. Protection. Possession. Subtle, restrained. Jae-min's hand brushed Seo-yoon's shoulder lightly, almost a touch. Not controlling. Just grounding. I told you before, Jae-min murmured. Stay close. And let me handle this. Seo-yoon swallowed. I don't need you to handle everything. No, Jae-min admitted softly. But I want to. The bell rang, scattering students, breaking the tension. Later, during lunch, the whispers continued. Phones hovered over desks. Every glance was a story, every stare an accusation. Seo-yoon felt exhausted, frustrated. Jae-min caught up to him after class, leading him to a quiet corner of the campus garden. Ignore them, he said simply. They don't matter. They do matter, Seo-yoon said softly. It's hard, people always staring, always judging. Jae-min knelt slightly, so his eyes met Seo-yoon's. Calm. Steady. Real. You matter more to me than their opinions, he said. Seo-yoon blinked. He wanted to protest, to say it wasn't fair. But the sincerity, the quiet devotion, made him pause. Jae-min continued, voice low. I'm not going to change who I am. I can't. But I can protect what matters. Seo-yoon's chest tightened. Not from fear this time, but something softer. Even if it means standing in the shadows, he whispered. Yes, Jae-min said simply. Even then. For the first time, Seo-yoon let himself relax just a fraction. The shadows and whispers didn't disappear. But he realized he wasn't facing them alone. And that made all the difference. Chapter 9, Breaking Points and Confessions. The rain had returned, gentle this time, like a quiet promise. Han Seo-yoon sat on a bench near the river, staring at the water. His hands gripped his notebook a little too tightly. He felt exposed. Vulnerable. But, alive. A shadow fell across him. Seo-yoon. He looked up. Kang Jae-min stood there, coat unbuttoned, hair damp from the drizzle. Eyes fixed on him with something softer than obsession, something raw. Can we talk? Jae-min asked quietly. Seo-yoon hesitated. Then nodded. They walked in silence along the riverside path, city lights reflecting on wet pavement. Finally, Seo-yoon broke the quiet. I don't know if I can keep doing this, he said softly. The rumors, the attention. I feel like I'm drowning sometimes. Jae-min's expression softened. I know, he admitted. I can't control people's words. I can't stop them from looking, from judging. But I can be here for you. Always. Seo-yoon swallowed. You've been so intense. I don't know where I end and you begin sometimes. Jae-min stopped walking. Looked at him squarely. Then let me step back. Let me give you space. But know this. I will never stop caring about you. And I will never stop being yours, if you let me. Seo-yoon's heart pounded. Yours? Yes. Jae-min stepped closer. Not as a possession. Not as a project. As someone I want to share everything with. The good, the bad, everything. Seo-yoon blinked, tears threatening to fall. Even after everything? Jae-min took a careful step closer, brushing a damp strand of hair from Seo-yoon's face. Especially after everything. You're the only one who makes me feel human. The only one who makes me want to be better. Seo-yoon's hands trembled. I've been scared. Scared of being just another chapter in your life. Or worse, someone you could lose control of. Jae-min's thumb traced Seo-yoon's cheek gently. I don't want anyone else. Only you. And I'm not perfect. But I'll fight to be better, for us. A pause. Silence. Rain. The world seemed to shrink around them. Seo-yoon swallowed. Then whispered, I want that too. To try, with you. Jae-min's lips curved softly. Then let's try. Together. This time, the kiss was different. Gentle, unhurried, careful, an echo of everything they had survived. No chaos. No obsession. Only trust. When they pulled back, foreheads resting together, Seo-yoon realized something he hadn't before. The storms outside didn't matter. The shadows and whispers didn't matter. Because together, they could face everything. And for the first time, he truly believed it. Chapter 10, Together, finally. The first light of dawn spilled over Seoul, painting the city in soft gold. Han Seo-yoon sipped his coffee by the window, the warmth seeping into his hands. Across from him, Kang Jae-min leaned against the kitchen counter, casually dressed, hair slightly messy, eyes calm, at peace in a way Seo-yoon had never seen before. They didn't need words. The quiet spoke volumes. Finally, Seo-yoon broke the silence. I never thought we'd get here. Jae-min tilted his head, a faint smile on his lips. Here. To, this. Us. Not chaos. Not obsession. Just, us. Jae-min stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair from Seo-yoon's face. We made it because we didn't give up. And because we trusted each other, slowly. Seo-yoon let out a small laugh, soft and relieved. Slowly is definitely your style. And yours too, Jae-min replied. You taught me patience. To let go of control when it mattered. Seo-yoon's heart fluttered. I'm still scared sometimes. That's okay, Jae-min said softly. I'll be scared with you. And for you. The morning light reflected off the glass around them, highlighting the small, ordinary moments that now felt monumental. The way Jae-min reached for his hand without gripping, the way Seo-yoon rested his head lightly against Jae-min's shoulder, the gentle quiet that replaced storms. Later, they walked hand in hand through the streets of Seoul. No cars blocking the way. No whispers. No rivals lurking. Just the city, alive and ordinary, and them. At the cafe where Seo-yoon worked part-time, Jae-min quietly paid for the new renovations he'd arranged. But he didn't make it a display. Just a simple gesture. No one knew. No one needed to. Because this time, it wasn't about power. It wasn't about possession. It was about choice. Every step, every glance, every shared smile was a decision they made together. And as they walked back through the streets of Seoul, rain beginning to fall again, gentle and soft, Seo-yoon realized. The storm had passed. And what remained wasn't chaos or obsession. It was love. Calm. Steady. Real. Together, finally.